Hello and welcome to a Star Citizen Roundup for July 2020, summarising what's gone on and what we've got in form of tangible updates over the last few weeks. 3.10 went through lots of PTU testing and is still going through PTU testing at time of recording, with players getting to try out the new flight model and combat updates, them being unveiled, and there's lots of tweaks going on to them in preparation for the live build. Some other things to note are that almost all the flyable ships now are purchasable in-game, at least their base models, and the equipment being available to them to make them whatever you sort of want. Only a few like the Sabre Raven, the Scythe, the Glaive, and the skinned loadout variants of ships like the Masters of Flight series are not available. Although someone did say to me the other day the Reliance were not available for some reason as well, though I suspect that's actually just a mistake by CIG. Hopefully that will be in the live build. The money sending app is a big game changer for me as well. You can now send money to each other, Alpha EBC to each other, or merits to each other, whether you be online, offline, in the same server, whatever. The Grim Hex and new Babbage location updates are looking great, helping expand out the verse, though there are lots of issues with the new landing and takeoff system, the restricted area rework at Lawville and Area 18, where flight corridors and hangars could trap players. We saw updates to turrets and fixed weapons as well that make them actually very, very good. Turrets are now what I would refer to as competitive, and they're very, very good options on ships. You can actually fly multi-crew ships very, very effectively with turrets now covering different angles, and fixed weapons, just for ships that are using fixed weapons, they are very, very, very accurate now because the sort of like new fixed weapon assist system nudges the projectiles slightly closer to the target, which then makes a lot more shots hit than would otherwise. The meta will be massively changing in 3.10. You won't see the mass drivers and the tachyon singes as effective, and you'll see a lot of change there. We don't know if there's going to be a wipe for 3.10 live yet, but there's been a lot of discussion of maybe. There was lots of bug fixing, and players have been helping triage issues with landing, stability, desync, exploits, and more, and some of these still have to be worked through before the live build. There is a good amount of new content in 3.10, but the evolution to the current content should be pretty massive. Inside Star Citizen and Star Citizen Live showed some bits and bobs. The Constellation Taurus is getting worked on now, and they're expanding out its cargo bay, obviously, for that variant. They have also been prototyping early automated docking undocking with that P72 and P52 on the Constellation, so it's getting its snub parasite docking at some point, hopefully in the not too distant future, and that should be updated for all the constellations. Gas cloud tech is being implemented for various points of interest like space stations and around areas in the PU to make them look better, give them more interest there. We learnt the hospitals are being worked on for locations and clinics for stations, it sounds like, as well. There are new locations that they're going to be expanding up in space stations as well, so like where the component areas are, the NPC hubs are. As new gameplay mechanics are added, they're going to further expand out zones to support that gameplay. So that could be salvage, that can be any new gameplay. The Stanton system will continue to get updates beyond the completion of celestial bodies. NPC schedulers are being worked on, which is going to allow for the spawning and despawning of NPCs in a more realistic manner and for lots of different purposes. UIs and the building block system are getting built out. They're getting lots of updates by the end of the year. They are using this for elevator panels, interactions, cockpits, the Mobiglass, missions, and much, much more at the moment. They are expecting to have physicalized inventories be one of those things that the UI allows them to build out by the end of the year. Hopefully they can meet that sort of target, and it's a big game changer for me having physicalized inventories. It's a core part of Star Citizen. They showed off various branding for assets and companies in Star Citizen that help build out the universe. We saw the Idris getting blown up in various different ways, and the Greycat Rock get more officially unveiled. It's a little mining vehicle that mines new medium gem nodes that are in Alpha 3.10, and the little Greycat Rock can fit into many ships like the Cutlass Black, for example, giving it the ability to mine effectively, or at least a little bit more utility. It's going to be going on sale when 3.10 goes live, and obviously will be available at the same time to use in game. Concept artist Jay Lee as well showed off some beast armor that he concepted live. It was made from parts of the Pyro Crab, a giant apex predator that's planned for the Pyro system. We had lots and lots and lots of roadmap changes, so let's go over this. So changes to 3.11, we saw the cutting tool get pushed off the roadmap in favour of a tractor beam module for the multi-tool coming in 3.12, and we saw refining decks and the facilities associated with them pushed to 3.12 as well. 3.11 we'll still see a myriad of content, including cargo decks, facilities associated with that, the Mercury Star Runner, the 100 series, grenade launcher, and quite a bit more. They also added during the month the Bearing BR2 ballistic shotgun and ground cover buoyancy with 3.11. So ground cover buoyancy is sort of like having realistically floating seaweed in areas that have water, that sort of stuff. Alpha 3.12 was added to the roadmap, but it's still at an extremely sort of like bare bones light stage in terms of content. Lots more is planning to be added to it in the future for sure. Beyond what we just mentioned, it's going to see a tractor beam module for the multi-tool, weapon zeroing, the refinery mechanics. So you're going to be able to go to these refinery facilities and you're going to be able to go, I want my minables, whatever it was, compressed into a more valuable commodity. There might be different types of process. There's going to be fees and times associated with that. And then after that time's over, you'll have a more valuable, hopefully more valuable item. And there was also some mystery armor in 3.12 as well. We don't know what that is. Maybe it's connected to bounty hunting or pyro, but we aren't too sure at this stage. Cloud Imperium has also made a statement on 2 of the biggest gameplay area expansions that are coming in the next few quarters and that were originally planned for the end of this year, or at least by the end of 2020, and that may have changed somewhat. So Crusader and Horizon, the landing zone there, are now being released in 2 parts, Q1 and Q2 of 2021 it looks like. This is because they are big, pretty, and their first sort of like true implementation of a gas giant in game, though we will be seeing updates even after its release. So that they're working a lot on that, the Horizon landing zone and that Crusader gas giant. There's just a lot of work to do, and they want to make it look great, and it's a whole unique set of assets. So I say unique, a new set of assets, which they will be using in other parts of the game for sure, but it's the first time they've done these particular ones, so they don't want to just rush release it, as they said. The much anticipated Pro Star system is still getting a lot of work, and it looks possible that they're still pushing it out for the end of 2020. But again, potentially it looks like it might be done in a 2-part fashion, with maybe up to 4 planets coming by the end of the year, and then the rest later. That's more speculation and rumour at this stage, though, than anything confirmed for that pyro system at the moment. So there was some controversy over the Squadron 42 roadmap. So Cloud Imperium are working on a new video series for Squadron 42 called The Briefing Room, which is going to give us some short, snappy updates every few weeks, it looks like. That's not ready yet, but they'll be working on it. They are also working on a new roadmap style for both Squadron 42 and the Persistent Universe, which plans to take a much more deeper look into individual features, their tasks and progress. At this stage, Cloud Imperium are still working on that new style of roadmap. In fact, there was a recent meeting on plans for that, with Xylo replying to Renegade Raisin's thread asking how the meeting went on Spectrum. Xylo said, I'm currently focused on the roadmap for the roadmap for the roadmap for the... I'm kidding. It actually went great. Everyone was pretty thrilled with the updated approach. As I've mentioned in the past, this update to the roadmap will change how both the Squadron 42 roadmap and the Star Citizen roadmap are visualized, and we're genuinely excited to share it. I've got a couple of questions I'm waiting to get some answers on, and once I do, I plan to get a post up that both explains the new visualization and shows it off. So that's good. Cloud Imperium are updating the way they do roadmaps, so it gives us more information. That's good. But originally they had shown a 4-point roadmap of getting the new roadmaps in a post, and that had caused a little bit of annoyance in the community. Hopefully Cloud Imperium will be a bit more aware of their optics when they're talking about some of the stuff like this as well now in the future. There was a little leak of the Asperia Talon. We know that it's some form of ship that strikes hard and then fades away, but we don't know much more than that. It's almost certainly a Tavaran fighter, probably a light fighter, but a Tavaran fighter with a bit of stealth thrown in. We don't know if it's going to be a concept sail or straight to flyable, and we don't know exactly when it's coming out. As I said, it was just the name of the ship, the Asperia Talon, and the tagline, strike hard and then fade away. That was the only thing that we saw on that so far. We've had the Foundation Festival as well, but really all that did was bring attention to the guide system. So the guide system in Star Citizen allows players to get one-on-one game tutelage from another player on their requested gameplay that they want to sort of like get taught, and you can do that from the guide system on the Spectrum forums. And that's it for July in terms of tangible updates. We're still waiting on the monthly report to come out from CIG later today at time of recording for the Persistent Universe and Squadron 42. Very much looking forward to that. That will give us a bit more information about what they're working on now and for the month of August. So stay tuned for that. I mean, don't stay tuned. It'll be out later. It'd be weird if you were just like watching just the end of my video with nothing happening, so don't do that. But what do you think? We're still waiting on 3.10 live, which should go live anytime. Are you excited for that? Have you been playing in the PT? What did you think of the flight model and the combat updates and all that sort of stuff? Did any of the updates in July excite you, or was it a bit of a meh month for you? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. We have a ship giveaway for August. It's for a Mercury Star Runner, the sort of hybrid data running cargo ship that's supposed to be live and flyable in Alpha 3.11. To be in for a chance of winning that, all you need to do is comment on any of my Star Citizen videos made during August 2020. If you want to further support my channel, then consider becoming a YouTube member via the join button. This will also get you some exclusive content and insight each month. Also, if you're looking for a VPN, I shill for NordVPN. It's a mega affordable and effective solution for added security, privacy, and internet accessibility. Follow the link below in the description for a discount. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the verse.